Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Johnson, and welcome to my first podcast. I don't really have a name for it, but today I have Leo Tamba, my ex-roommate, great guy. I mean, this is we're excited to kind of finally make an artistic project. You
Yes,
got any,
sir.
you
Yes,
got
sir.
any, you got anything to say, man?
Man, I'm just really excited, man. We've just been planning this. We've been planning this since freshman year. It was more about films and things like that, but just like to collab with our works. Justin and I, we were. It was really a blessing that we became to be roommates because we didn't even know we were interested in the same kinds of things. Within like a month or so, we just started talking about future projects, films, and then obviously, a podcast would be under the works. So we finally get this opportunity. Hopefully, it goes really well. We're also just really excited to share it. Hopefully, we could be on like some Joe Rogan type. Where we can
It's
we
the
can get this
dream.
into a bigger platform and have people talk about it and things like that. But we thoroughly discuss a lot of topics, and we feel like we have important, not so much important, but we have really like interesting views and takes on certain things, and maybe our views and takes are similar to a lot of people's. So I mean, just to have this little thing out, maybe just for us to reflect on, and for a lot of people to enjoy. But we're just really excited to get this thing going.
Yeah, dude. Because that's really the thing. It's like we sit down and we have these conversations. I call you almost every night, and
Right.
we talk like it's productive conversation, and we look
Mhm.
back on it and we're like, dude, like someone could learn something from this, or maybe just think about things differently, or
Really
might want to
interested
weigh
in.
in. Yeah, exactly. It's just like interesting things, and I feel like that's with anybody really, like any group of
Yeah.
friends. I mean, can't speak for
I
everyone,
just,
but most of my friends we have really good conversations.
yeah. And I feel like that's just pretty much just the basis of a general podcast. You have these views, and you know that for the most part, obviously, since it's more, I would say, obviously, it's a discussion, but the pure popularity stem is argument, and obviously, there's two sides for the most part to an argument. So when we will go ahead and discuss things, we know that there are likely to be people that would, for example, be on your side with something, be example, my side on something. So it's just really interesting and fun to see the different topics that we talk about, and now we get the chance to put it out there.
Yeah, and just to kind of address the audience one more time, because I really want it to be like a one-on-one conversation. Uh, to the listeners, this is like I said, the first podcast, so excuse any audio problems. We're doing this through Discord for the first time. Hopefully, because
Bye.
it's summer now. Yeah, it's summer now, so hopefully we could get one-on-one in real life. Quality would be a lot better. But for the first one, yeah, we just had to get this kind of in the works.
Get a little trial run for us, beta
Yeah,
test.
exactly. So, shall we introduce the first topic?
Let's get into it. Let's get straight into it.
Okay, so me and Leo debated about this a couple days ago. He sent me this tweet uh, of Steve Harvey. Anyone who doesn't know what's kind of happening with Steve Harvey right now, he okay in the past. There's a most of you guys know an actress named Monique, an actress and comedian, and Steve Harvey. Monique went to and stop me, Leo, if I'm saying anything that's like off the rails.
Okay.
Um, actress named Monique, and she kind of was boycott. She boycotted Netflix and all these big companies because they were paying someone of a different race. Who it was
Oh, I
comedian,
can't recall.
what Amy Schumer. They were paying Amy Schumer more than they were paying her, so she boycotted. And now Steve Harvey told her behind closed doors what she was doing was right. But when he was asked about it on live television and whatnot, and in the press, he told the media he didn't believe like she went about it the right way. And what the tweet was that Leo had sent me was Steve Harvey uh, talking to on his show saying that rich people don't sleep. He said things like the Bible. He quoted the Bible that if you sleep and hold hands, poverty will strike you. He said things like you can't wake up at 8 a.m. Because the stock market's been open for 2 hours on the other side of the country. Stuff like that. I mean, Leo, did I get it all correct? What do you like?
Just about.
Okay. and pretty much, I mean, anyone pause the podcast right now and go watch the video that's on Twitter. Just talk about Steve Harvey, the rich don't sleep, and his interview with Monique, because that's the basis of our debate right now. And I'm pretty sure most viewers have heard of it, because most of the people that want to hear this topic are here right now.
Hmm.
So Leo, present your argument, man.
So here's what ended up happening. Right. So everyone that knows Steve Harvey, he's a comedy personality. You know, he's one of the he's heralded as one of the better comedians, one of the best comedians of the '90s, the entire '90s, early 2000s, or probably yeah, that's pretty much his time frame. He's made a great name for himself. Appearances here, top selling books, things like that. He's a major figure, right? And he's also the host of his own show called Harvey. I believe it's called Harvey.
I think it's just called
Um,
the Steve Harvey Show.
Harvey show. Um, it's an Oprah style type deal. Oprah style, you go ahead and you talk about certain subjects, relevant subjects to your audience. His audience, it's daytime television. You know, his audience is full of all sorts of demographics. Steve Harvey, I'll go ahead and just clear it out. Obviously, everyone knows he's African American. So upon reading the tweet, just from coming from a place where it's very important to strive for things. Nowadays it's more of the basis of trying to inspire people. A lot of the famous people now through social media and just in general, they know that they can use their platform to inspire others. So, one of the things Steve Harvey talked about was, as mentioned before, as he talked about just how important it is to right. So I see this thing on Twitter. So he pretty much says you can't be you. All the rich people don't sleep. Pretty much saying rich people work hard. Rich people are constantly working. You can't be asleep at 8 o'clock, and be rich, right? He talked about again. He said the on the East Coast are doing things with the stocks, and you're out here over here sleeping. You got to be working. And the scripture he pulled. I just wish I knew it by heart, but he was talking about the people who sleep. They something they're heralded with thieves. It's more about if you sleep, you lose opportunity. That's pretty much it. Pretty much is the early bird catches the worm type deal. No, for me, when I see a tweet like that, I'm
But
looking at I was looking at the tweet for what it was, right? This is a man, right, who's talking about the the struggle to make it, because the fact of the matter is that the world is getting so much more competitive, right? 30 years ago, 30 years ago, a G was good. You could get a job. An AA degree, you're a little bit different. People kind of hold you, okay, there's an education. You get your bachelor's, the world is yours. You get your master's, you're looked upon as someone who's incredibly distinct from the mass. You get your PhD, there is nothing in the world you can't do. You're making innovations, you're doing things like that. Nowadays, you get your bachelor's degree, and there's a very high chance you're doing nothing related to your degree, and you're still out there struggling. So with me, when and Justin and I both come from sports backgrounds. We both played at prestigious high schools and the top of the line California football, and so we know what hard work is. We're playing college athletics, so there's no real news as far as working hard. We're no strangers to that, and people listening, you're probably no stranger to that either. So for me, when I see a message like that, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, Steve Harvey is essentially just telling people if you work hard, or let me change that. To be successful, you have to work hard. To be successful, you cannot let opportunities slip away. To be successful, you have to go out there and get it. The early bird catches the worm. You cannot. There's always going to be someone out there working harder than you. That's why he's telling you that there are people on the East Coast making moves while you're out here asleep. When you could be being more productive, you could be more. You could be doing things like that. Um, and then I sent Justin that, and Justin went ahead and he didn't like it too much. And I think Justin kind of already introduced the Mo'Nique thing about that. So my thing with Justin was, or Justin, I think the thing with Justin, he was trying to tell me the narrative.
Okay, well,
If I'm
yeah. Okay,
go ahead,
because
go ahead with your point.
oh yeah, because I think you we didn't mention about the video is that also besides the sleeping part, would you agree that he was talking about hard work and
Yes,
hard work leading to success?
yes,
Okay, now my whole point with this is that there's two sides to something that you say. So if I say um if I say that hard work equals success, that in turn means that if you don't work hard, you won't be successful, or that if you're not successful, it's because you didn't work hard. Do you, can you agree with that?
I can agree to to that statement, that how that can be perceived. I
And
can agree to that.
okay, and now where Monique's situation is, and this is kind of why I have beef with the video. In theory, I don't have a beef with anyone saying work hard, um, and you'll be successful. I believe hard work does equal success. But what he had said in in the Monique situation, it included race. He included things like this is a white man's industry, and that he used that to justify why he did not want to speak up on the Monique situation. And the this is why I used that situation to kind of
Discredit.
not to discredit, but to form my opinion on the Twitter video, is because it kind of it shows that he has a lack of understanding of his position, how he got there, uh, regarding his race. So now,
Right. So so again, now we get back to, I think so. What I'm understanding is you wanted, so what you wanted for him to do when he addressed his audience on his show is you wanted him to include that it wasn't that it really it that race is just as much a part of, the whole cultural, which, it's as sad as it is to admit, it's there. Obviously, opportunities are not equal. We have made strides. We have improved as far as, opportunities and things like that. But it still is not equal. But what you wanted is, but making the claim now. Correct me if I'm wrong. What you wanted is for Steve to address the race problem. You wanted him to, if he was going to make a statement like he did, he needed to address the race problem.
oh, like I said, man, I'm basing my opinion on this one off of the character he's shown through the Monique interview. And I'm not saying every time you talk about hard work, if you're black, you have to make an effort say that the playing fields aren't even. But it's the way he went about it. The video, it came off as condescending. It came off as I made it because I'm a hard worker. I didn't sleep. I mean, first of all, I mean everyone needs 8 hours of sleep, and but
I don't. You can't really. That's a. You sit there and you talk about the people. I want you to be completely honest. If you sit there and if you really think about the people that had it hard, okay, we need 8 hours of sleep. We also are supposed to have, what is it? We're supposed to have a serving of vegetables every
yeah,
single
okay.
day.
I understand that's a weak argument, but that's not my main argument. My,
Okay.
my main primary issue with the video is that pushing what's known to as a rags to riches narrative. You know what that is. Viewers might not. Rags to riches narrative means if I have nothing, I could become rich through hard work. That there's a major issue. I've read up on it a lot. I take diversity classes. The major issue with the rags to riches narrative is that it's not true. It's just simply not true. There's people who are at a way more disadvantage or advantage than you, and or disadvantage, and the playing field is not even. So to push
Correct.
to do you have something to say? Or
No, no, no.
okay,
Keep going. Keep going.
so to push the narrative that says hard work equals success is to it does it it makes the wrong it puts the wrong idea in people's head. If I'm at a
Okay,
disadvantage, go ahead.
yeah. Here's the thing though. You gotta understand is that Steve did not. Okay, Steve did not necessarily say if you work hard, 100% of the time you're gonna be successful. Because that goes without giving. People that work their tails off, that continue to struggle. But it's the sense that if you want to be successful, because the natural that's the natural thing is to become successful. If you want to be successful, it's to work hard. Now, it goes without saying there are people who work endlessly, right? You're born into a certain situation, you know. Um, we bring about race, okay? We bring about race. So you talk about, let's say, an African American youth, okay, inner city, all right, LA, heart of LA. He's struggling from the get go. Single parent. Father, they're on welfare. They're barely making it. As that kid ends up being something special, right? He already has things against him as it is. Now he may work hard and he still doesn't get into state. He still doesn't get into UCLA. He still doesn't get into these big schools because he doesn't have the opportunities, right? But at least because he's worked hard, there is some kind of goal at least that's set in mind. There's no guarantee that he's gonna make it. There's no guarantee anyone's gonna make it. Now, you talk about another person who might be privileged, right? It kind of goes the same way. If someone is privileged, okay, and their child is also something of privilege, this is another argument. The child of privilege is gonna go two ways. Okay, the child of privilege is either gonna appreciate and understand and fully comprehend what it took to get there, to get to the success, and is going to duplicate the same actions, or they're going to fall into a problem. We see a lot of that in rich communities where the youth just pretty much gets what they get, and they go on their own, and then maybe their lives are taken from the parents, and then what happens to their children? Maybe there's a little bit of money left. A few generations down the road, you're going to be a regular middle class, and then someone else might fall into the bottom class who are in the same exact. So it's not that necessarily that if you work hard 100% of the time, you're going to be successful. It's more of if you want to be successful regardless of race, regardless, where it is that you came, you have to work hard. And I think that was pretty much a general statement. And I think it goes him being an African American man. He's talked about the struggles he's been through. He talked about how he struggled with comedy. I believe he was homeless at one point. A family took him in and things like that. He has struggled with that. But the general message to his audience on that show on that particular day was to be successful. If you want to be successful, you gotta work hard. That's pretty much the narrative. I don't think really necessarily changes because of circumstance, even though that's how it is. That 100% is how it is. Opportunities are not the same. They are improving, but they are not the same. The fact of the matter is regardless of where you came from, regardless of what you have to go through to be successful, you have to work hard. That's just how it is. Otherwise, sooner or later, either your creation or the current institution that you're in is, and that's just how it goes.
Okay. So kind of what I have to say about that is that the Twitter video was just another example of Steve Harvey failing to mention what should be mentioned because he is scared of what is going to happen. And I mean that by in Mo'Nique's situation, he was scared to face the big dogs and say this is racial discrimination, and because he was scared of what would happen to him. Understandably, I get it, but the Twitter video is just another example of him doing that, and he's doing that because as a black successful man, he should know as good as anybody else that he did not get there through just hard work. It takes luck for a young black man who came from a very low income area just as he did. It takes luck. You can't. The thing about the video is that it comes off to disrespectful. It comes as disrespectful to people who are poor and work 2 to 3 jobs don't get any sleep, and you have a rich man telling you you're sleeping too much, and that obviously he didn't say that. Yeah, obviously he didn't say that, but that's the narrative that he's pushing. This what is he saying? You know what I mean?
I,
It's
I I can see how it can be perceived that way. I definitely can see how it can be perceived that way. That's also kind of pushing just because when you work at the end of the day, as hard as it is, I've seen things and gone through things as well. People, if you really sit there and think, the definition as well of success is very subjective. The definition of success means one thing to someone and a completely different thing to someone else. Success for some person could be working those three jobs and seeing that their kids are all in school, not doing bad things. Unfortunate as it is, working three jobs is something that is necessary for a lot of people, and that's really unfortunate. But at the end of the day, you're working those three jobs, and again, I hate to say it, but you're working those three jobs, and it's out of production. There is a production, you know what I mean? But then it just goes back to show you, though, as far as the real big success, if you're talking about, I have a home, I'm in a good community, I'm in this, I'm in that, it's not going to happen for everyone. The narrative, the essential narrative that he's pushing is that if you want to work, if you need to be, like I said before, if you want to be successful, you have to. But not everyone is going to be successful because I feel like that was one of those things that goes without saying.
okay,
Again, with the
but you have
go
to
ahead.
address how the narrative that he pushed is monetary. It's about money. You sleep, people are investing in the stocks over there. You're not making money if you're asleep.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, okay,
To
not
compare it to success, I see a disconnect there.
it's fine. Okay, it's just that same thing that the coach tells you. There's someone always working. There's someone always out there at work. That's pretty much the gist of what it is. Again, and as far as his narrative about race and about luck, you don't want to tell people about luck because luck is something you can't control. That's a fact. That's an anomaly
Okay, but
because
you could be an activist and tell him, as a young black man,
I,
everything
I,
was against me and I made it. The
through
playing
luck,
field is not, you don't have to say through luck. The playing field is not even, and he should try to push that. He's not pushing
yeah,
that. Monique,
and I think
when she kind of held her ground, she didn't, but when she came up against racial discrimination, she spoke up on about it. She spoke up about it.
here's my thing. The problem, and in the interview that he had with her, again, it was more about this problem with her wasn't that she did it. His problem with her was how she addressed it. And you have other celebrities who are. This is also an argument that actually was kind of trending for a little bit. You have celebrities that also agree with. You gotta understand, like you are. This like again. This is a production. Again, we have made strides in our time. This isn't the '60s anymore. This is not the '60s anymore. Where it's you can walk and there isn't that high of a chance of you getting dragged by a car by the bed of a truck, and you're making national headline news because your body's, you know what I mean. We've made strides from those days and ages, but what I will say is that his problem with her is how she approached it because she took it up straight to them, and that's very risky. I have no problem with anyone trying to stand up for what is correct, absolutely not. We need more people, but at the end of the day, you like I said before, it's not those times. I feel like the people in the '60s and things like that, they felt really powerful and empowered to do those things, and it was right because of how hostile the times were. You could get killed for being a black man, just in the heat of day. Martin Luther King Jr. executed in the middle of the day, just for being there because of the amazing things that he did. The successful black people that were there back then, they talked about it.
Okay,
We've made strides.
so do you think Monique went about it wrong then by
I
boycotting Netflix when they
I
were?
personally, I love her work. If she did something to jeopardize her position as an entertainer, she's one of the most hailed entertainers in this business, in the black community, and in entertainment in general.
So
If
then
she just
how do you go about it? How do you go about getting racially discriminated against by big
that
corporations?
is something you got to just bring. That's an under the table situation. That's an under the
But if
table.
you're under the if you handle it under the table, it will never get solved in the in the grand scheme of things. You handle it under the table, that's not you're not informing
Right,
everybody of the injustices.
right,
MLK, you brought up MLK. He spoke to millions. He's a
correct,
figurehead. He protested
correct,
just as she did.
right,
He protested by
right,
boycotting restaurants, and then he protests by standing outside of places and giving speeches.
correct.
She boycotted Netflix. How's that?
Uh,
How's that an issue?
here, I won't say that it's too much of my just thing is that she put a lot of things in jeopardy, and I feel like there's already a lot of hostility in the community as it is. She's risking. I feel like she was risking her position. She was risking her entertainment type deal. She's a powerful figure. I'm pretty sure she would have figured something. But as far as the whole, under the wraps type deal, I feel like there was still a different there might have been a different possibility for her to approach. At the end of the day, it's not fair. That's just facts. It's not fair.
So shouldn't you work to make it fair?
I feel like you should work to. That's not what I'm definitely not saying that she should have been silent, but I definitely think that there is a different way to approach it. Because if you approach something with hostility, that's also not going to work. You can't fight fire with fire, dog. You know what I mean? That's just not going. There has to be an alternative. That's why a lot of the people, if you look into that argument, a lot of the people did not agree with Mo'Nique. A lot of people do agree with Mo'Nique. A lot of people that don't agree with Mo'Nique is just not that she said what she said. It's the matter that she went about it. It's the way that she went about it, and it seems like she just went straight up to him and was just like, "You're not fair. You're not doing this. You're not doing that," and it's unfortunate. I will say this, which is for me, Mo'Nique, Amy Schumer, I I just do homework. You know what I mean? But what I will tell you is the last time I really heard of a role of prominence from Mo'Nique was from Precious and other small. You have to remember that Amy Schumer, for the past 2-3 years, I'd say 2 to 3 years ago, those were her years. She hosted an award show. She had several movies coming out. She had stand-up specials coming out. So she was, you can't stop a moving train. So that year where she was really going. So it makes sense why the attention would be more for her at the time because this is an older problem. The more attention would be towards her at the time than it would be for Mo'Nique, who again is still very popular, but not as popular as Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer was a worldwide type situation. That's why I say it's all about how you approach these things because at the end of the day, Amy Schumer was at a point of relevance that was hard to stop by other even prominent, not even black actors, but actors in general. So I feel like even though it's not as fair as for her to not get compensated as fairly, there's definitely a different potion to just straight up tell them because I'm pretty sure what I just told you is probably what they told Monique. She's more relevant at this point. Look at what she's doing. Look at the power move she's doing. She's hosting this. She's doing this. She's partnering with this. She has endorsements with this. She has this new special coming out for us. She has another special coming out for us. She has this other movie that's gonna. We have a deal with Netflix, or we have a deal with the production company that's gonna be on Netflix within the next year. So you look into this problem and you look at the timing. I feel like she should have really just evaluated. Obviously, I'm not at that level. I'm not a celebrity, so I really don't know the inner workings. But from analyzing everything that's going on and a point of relevance, I think at the end of the day, she just chose the timing was off and the approach wasn't too well. I feel like speaking, right decision. You got a problem with it, voice your opinion. That's the first step in trying to solve a problem. But
Okay,
you also have you gotta analyze.
okay. Well, here's I just looked it up. Monique said that. Well, the facts is that Amy Schumer's movie made 45 million, whereas Monique's movie made 42. So Monique's is 3 million
What
down.
was Monique?
Monique's movie is I just lost it. Almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas.
And then so 3 million less than Amy Schumer, right?
Okay.
But they offered Amy Schumer 13 million more dollars. They offered, let's see, they offered Monique $500,000 for the Netflix series, and they offered Amy Schumer $13 million more. So probably around 14 million. even though their Netflix or their movies were only $3 million apart. Now,
So the
okay,
movie,
now here's another thing. I don't whether or not whether or not it was racist or not of Netflix to offer more money to Amy Schumer. I think that what she did was still good in the grand scheme of things to expose the fact that there is institutional racism and that the playing field isn't even. And for
right?
and especially since Steve Harvey said to Mo'Nique that he supported her, yet in the press he didn't. I think that's a little bit shady, and I think he should have at least said something because you've tried to find videos about him speaking about um,
There's an
racial
article where
inequality.
it's an
Go ahead.
article where he talks about Black Lives Matter. I literally did my homework and then we did the podcast, but it's if you look up Steve Harvey, and I haven't read it. I haven't read it. Um, it's by the Cocoa South Harvey Black Lives Matter Community Coalition. Haven't read it, haven't taken a look at it, but just by looking at it, he's a black man and he's made it. He's made it very successfully. Host of one of some host of one of the most popularly watched programs in the country. I'm pretty sure he has some good things to say about it. And like I said before, just because if there's not video evidence, that doesn't necessarily mean he's never spoken on it. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. It's he doesn't want to speak on it when the cameras are on him, when the press is on him. He doesn't want to speak
That's
about these
it.
things that are factual and were relevant to him and that are
But you
hurting the people of his color, of his old social or economic status. He's not speaking about these things when he's pressed about it.
so right. That's not. I feel like you still can't base it off of if you can't find it or not. I still don't think that's fair. I don't think
Okay,
every minute of your
it is
life.
fair and relevant to the argument because the argument is he's folding. Mo'Nique asked him to speak out for her. He didn't.
I think just because it's out and it's spoken about very often, and it's one of those things. Like I said, I've look at, and I feel like if you deep dive, you might be able to find something. I didn't deep
But
dive.
we shouldn't have to. That's my thing.
I,
You shouldn't have to, and he's pushing narratives that are effective or affecting the people of his kind. And I
I
feel
I
like,
would I would say that the narrative was, look, you this is a again, like I said before, this is again, there is inequality in the industry. Opportunities aren't necessarily equal, but we have made strides from the 60s. We have many more black CEOs, many more black producers, many more black corporate managers, many black directors. We have black bosses that have white employees. You know what I mean? And I feel like now we're at a point where, this is a problem, and this is gonna very, very, I honestly don't change, you know. Um, but we're at a point where now it's still so much of a relevant topic. You don't have to speak about it every single time you're on that
but
platform
don't
because
fold when you have
it's
the chance. Is my point.
I don't think he folded. Like I said, he there's published work about him talking about it. But you don't your job is not, like I said, you're not in the 60s where you've made it. It's so rare for you to make it per se. It's not rare for an African American to make it. It is harder for an African American to make it. Does that make sense? Whereas in the 60s, in the 50s, it was rare. You're not seeing one. You're not seeing one at all. So when they're up there in that stage, you're damn sure they're gonna go ahead and speak about it as they should. It's not fair. You got to work twice as hard, 10 times as hard to get up here, and even then, you still might not make it. Whereas now, it's still unfair to make it. It's still unfair to make it, but it's known. Things have been slightly accommodated, and things like that. Where again, you still got to work hard, and it still might not be fair. But at the same time, Steve is at that place where he knows his industry. You're not gonna piss off the industry to where you get your things. You have your opportunities and you have your appropriate opportunities to speak at your time. But your job is not to spit at the people, who are ultimately just looking at you and ultimately now you're kind of just, you're I'm trying to think of the word. You're hazing us for this thing, which isn't fair. You have a lot of Caucasian actors and producers who agree that it's not fair. You have a lot of Caucasian and actors who say the opportunity isn't fair at all, right? So when you're up there, you also got to be smart about your approach, because when you're talking about a subject like that, a lot of generality is put in there, because when you say it's super unfair, you also have producers in the majority that are not in the minority who agree, but they're under the stigma because they are white. You know what I mean? Steve Harvey has, yes, you are a black man. You've made in this community. You do need to address it. But on Family Feud, I don't want to hear you talk about, you know, you do your thing. I don't want to hear
Okay, but he's not on Family
every end
Feud. That
about the
wasn't on film. That's on his show. If anything, he has the power
right,
to
but
say whatever he wants.
he does.
And
But so
instead, and it's and
you're telling me that every single episode he's gonna talk about that.
no, but I'm saying he needs to be aware of the effects of the things he is saying.
I think he
Pushing
is aware.
pushing
If he wasn't aware,
pushing a rags to riches narrative hurts the people at the bottom.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Who does a rags to riches narrative affect? If I'm at the top, am I in the top 1%, I own a corporation. I'm going to tell the people below me, if you work hard, you'll be just like me. If you work hard, you'll make money. When in reality, only one person can be in this chair, or this is a metaphor. Only one person can be in this chair, and no matter how hard you work, you're not going to be the CEO of this company.
That
And that
that's not
it's
no,
yes, it's a metaphor for the playing fields not being even.
dude. You tell people to push the narrative. Okay, the push narrative, the rag to rich should be pushed at all times. You would rather silence it? No, you're gonna make it. Let me tell you something. You're gonna tell a kid. You're gonna tell a black kid. Let me tell you something. Okay, you can work your tail off. Listen to me. You can work your tail off on 1,000 hills, study day in and day and night, and study the harder than any. I want you to study 6 o'clock in the morning. I want you to study until everyone at home is asleep. And then I want you to work out, and I want you to keep working. Let me tell you something, kid. There is still a very good chance that you are not going to make it. You hear me? There's a very good chance you're not going to make it.
But look, dude, I'm not saying say that. I'm not saying say that. I'm
But
s-
that's indirect. That's indirect, Justin, because you don't want that narrative to be pushed. You don't want that narrative to be pushed. So what you're essentially saying is that, okay, I don't want the Rag the Riches story to be told. I want the truth to be told. And the truth is that the opportunities are uneven, right? So you want that to be told, kid, because that's what you said. You said, kid, there's gonna be luck involved. If you don't get that stroke of luck, if you don't get that stroke of luck, you're screwed, kid. So I'm gonna leave you with that. If you want to work hard, that's up to you. Okay. No, I think the Strax the Riches
okay.
narrative should be preached to everybody, regardless of situation, because that's
I
the
mean, agree
best
to
kind of.
disagree. But I'm saying is instead of pushing the rags to riches narrative, because what you're saying is assuming that if I have to say the opposite of it. You don't have to say the opposite of it.
No,
You have to push the agenda should to be to make the playing field even, not to make everyone at the bottom work harder.
you mean to push the race even
No,
the
no, no,
race?
no, 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 no. Because the playing field's not even for poor people either. It's not all about race, man. The
Well, no, no, that's it's futile though. I feel like something like that, it's futile. We're not gonna see
though
the
you think the
day.
playing field is even for anyone of any economic status.
Oh, oh, you good?
You think the playing field for anyone of any economic status is even.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so then I think he should work to try and even the playing fields, make people aware of the playing fields. Because if someone's listening, if some okay, okay, but if someone's listening to the rags to riches narrative and is not aware that the playing fields aren't even and that equal opportunity doesn't exist, then it'll only hurt that person because they're gonna blindly be working hard for nothing because they don't know that they have other obstacles to go around.
Tell me, Justin, who is not aware of of their economic stability? Who's not aware that they're poor? Who's not aware that they're black?
I'm not
Who's
saying
not
that.
aware?
I'm saying there's people who are unaware that the playing fields aren't even.
Who's
I
not aware
what do you, anybody could be unaware.
of their status? You're telling me that someone is poor doesn't know that they're poor. You're telling me that someone is
I'm
African.
saying that if someone works a low end job, and unfortunately they're poor, and
Right.
you tell this guy work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard, and he can be blind to the fact that there's other obstacles going against him. I don't think I don't think.
N-
Go ahead.
You have no you have no choice but to work hard. You're poor. Okay, listen, Justin. We're gonna talk about let's go hypothetical. Okay? Let's go hypothetical. Credit card debt. This guy Jim is in credit card debt. Okay? He's living in Harbor City, Los. Okay? He's by himself. He's working a low end. Okay? He still has loans to pay off of LA community college, East Los Angeles Community College. Okay? He's at a low point. He has a roommate. He's struggling to pay his rent. You're not your opportunity isn't equal. So don't so if you want to work hard, there's some luck. There's got to be some luck involved. Hell no. You cut out everything distracting in your life. Okay? You're at a disadvantage. You need to work double shifts, bud. You need to work double shifts. That's what you got to do. If you're struggling right now, something needs to give. Something has to take. Either you and your roommate figure something out. You're moving back in with the rents. Oh, your rents are you don't have any parents, so you need to figure something out. You're working. You're working. You find another job. You find another job. You can't afford your car isn't doing too much. Sell your car. You're taking the bus to work. In time, you're gonna go to get it. Go and get enough revenue. You're gonna pay your student loan. You're gonna work hard because the fact of the matter is that everybody has to work hard, and it's the point that I brought to you before. Is if a successful person for every successful thing, except for you talk about the hierarchy type deal, we're on to get into the word kings and queens and things like that in like Europe and stuff like that. For let's say the industrial world, okay, the business world, for every successful person that's been out there, either that person or someone in the lineage had worked hard to get there. That's just fact. Okay, but that's not to say that for that person to be successful, everybody along the lines is going to be successful. There's no telling what the future holds.
Like I
Okay,
said, man. Like I said, hard work is not bad. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm
I understand.
saying, all I'm saying is that one, the rags to riches narrative is harmful, and two, that at someone at that platform should be aware that that narrative is harmful and instead work to fix the playing field instead of instead of perpetuating a
Tell me,
narrative that fulfills the fact that the playing fields are equal and that there's
tell
no
me how
inequality.
you want them to help. If you want to talk about donating, there's no question how much these celebrities donate. There's no question how many
But
organizations these
donating
people run.
is not nearly as effective as speaking out. I don't care who you donate, bro. People donate to get tax returns
So tell me how you want them to help. Tell me how you want
by
them
speaking
to
speaking by speaking out and saying the system that they were successful in is is tilted, and that there's people at a disadvantage. It's not an equal playing field. There's no equal opportunity isn't a thing. And I'm not saying say that and make everyone negative, but I'm saying work towards fixing it, because
so
saying rags to rich, the narrative does not fix the fact that the playing fields aren't equal. So
again,
no, no,
how
no.
do you fix
Yeah, God knows.
how do
But do you agree?
see you can't leave it at that,
I'm
Justin,
not
because
leaving at that. Let me finish. Do you agree that the playing field should be equal?
100% it should be equal.
Does the rags to riches narrative fix that?
It's a step, 100%.
Uh, how?
You have to work hard to get a means.
I
You
understand
have
that.
to work
I understand that.
to get a means.
So here's the thing. Exchange the rags to riches narrative with the hard working is good narrative. You work hard because it gets you places, not because you don't
That's
relate
like that.
don't relate hard work to success. That's the fundamental problem with not having. There's no equal opportunity. The people that are rich want to stay rich. They don't want the poor to be rich. The people who have power don't want the other people who don't have power to have power. So as a person, as a figurehead, and you're popular, and you came from a place where people don't want you to succeed. You grew up in a time of mass racism. You grew up of a time when it just bad stuff going on. He knows best that the playing fields aren't equal. Help that, because the rags to riches if you want to say hard work is good, hard work is good. Hard work does not equal success. Hard work does not equal success.
I don't know, dog. You said hard work is good, should be the new narrative. I guess fine with that. I guess I'm fine with that, but I'm not all for, because here's two things for you, Justin. Again, like I told you before, there's an article I can send you to it, and if you guys listening, if you look up Steve Harvey, if you look up Steve Harvey speaks, it's gonna be the it's going to be the fourth result down, and I'm pretty sure this was me 10 minutes before we did this pass. This is not me deep searching. I'm pretty sure you can find more things of Steve Harvey. And again, if you can't find video, I don't think that means you can't find anything. Secondly, if you speak on, you said to help the narrative. Tell me, Justin. Tell me, Justin. You tell people that it's, then what happens?
You tell people what?
You tell people that the playing field is not even. Tell me what happens after.
The people that you tell that to go and try and work to make the playing field even. Legislation changes, whatever the case may be. Protesting the people who the go ahead.
Justin, I feel like you're trying to get, you're trying to, I don't know, I erase problem. As sorry as it is to say, trying to fix the race problem is futile. I'm sorry to
And that's
say that.
just a
It's
pessimistic attitude, man. And it's not only a race problem. Like I said, it's economics too.
do
People
you honestly believe that one day we'll truly
say that again. You like
no no prejudice, no nothing like that, no racism ever.
do I
Really,
believe that'll happen, or do I believe it should happen?
do you think that it's gonna happen?
Uh, I, there's no way of me answering that question.
No,
But
no,
the
no.
but
You
the
no.
the problem. Look, Leo, in a world where everyone was striving for that, it would be way more chance or likely to happen.
But it's the fact of the matter is it's not happening. We see race crimes, we
Okay,
see
well
hate
then you're
crimes
contradicting
every.
yourself, Leo, because you don't want to tell the little kids that their success is based off luck, but you and you want to tell them that there's no way that the playing fields will ever be equal. It's you want to tell them everything,
What
or do you not want to tell them anything?
that's not the Justin. This is a people are gonna learn regardless. Again, like I said before, we've made strides. Things are so much more. We're not in the times of white restaurants and black restaurants anymore. We're not in those times anymore. There are still hate crimes, innocent people putting their hands up in a car, getting shot 7 times. Trust me, people are going to hear about that, and that's going to continue to happen. We have improved, but things like these disgusting things are happening. But Justin, fact of the matter is you got to work regardless. You sitting there and telling people that um you're sitting there and telling people that you can work hard all you want, but what you really need is luck. What you really need is luck. What you
That's not what I
bet
meant.
on.
That's not what I said or meant. But what you're saying is that because there's no zero chance of us of us ever being completely equal, no discrimination, we shouldn't strive for that.
No, that's not at all what I'm saying.
So
That's
we
not at
should
all.
strive for it.
We should 100% strive for it. But Justin, it's not going.
So then,
Just
but rags to riches narrative doesn't help you strive towards equality.
But the Rex or Riches narrative isn't about equality. It's being successful, Justin.
Yes, but I
Success, the greatest success in the world would be if we were to strive, if we were to coexist like that, and there were to be no prejudice, and people would be qualified for the person that 110%. I'm with
but
you on
that
that.
but that narrative assumes that the playing field is equal.
That is not true. That's not true. Or that's we there's things to just to prove that it just we of 40, is it 46 or 45? 46? One
What
is black.
was your question?
Is it 46 or 45 presidents we have?
Yeah.
Obama was the 44th president, correct? I think
Yeah.
Trump is the 5th. Trump is the 45th. Of
Yeah.
those people, okay, who's I'm trying to think of the 1900s who the presidents were. Regardless of the fact, we've had one African American president. It's
Hmm.
clear as day that it's not. What's also clear as day is that it's improving because there was a black president as opposed to the 43 or the white presidents. It is improving. We should continue to strive for it. But Justin, the fact of the matter is regardless of situation, regardless of whatever predicament you're in, regardless of whatever pre-existing condition you are born with, whatever condition that God has put you on this earth in, it is your job. It is your job to work towards a goal that you find sufficient. And what we find sufficient according
So
to human nature, in human nature, we try to be as comfortable as possible. You got to be, and you have hard to be stable. You have to be work hard. Okay, what I'll
so
say
why
to
don't we
you,
make that the narrative?
make what the narrative.
You gotta work. You gotta work hard to be stable. Whatever you just said. The
I
problem,
think, like I
my
said before,
problem is that one, the rags to riches narrative assumes the playing field is equal, and it assumes that hard work equals success, which it does not. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Hard work does
I'll
not equal success for the guy working at McDonald's and Jack in the Box at the same time who gets 3 hours of sleep. Hard work does not equal success for that guy. He has to pay off student debts. He doesn't have as much financial support. He doesn't have any financial support. He has a kid. He has to feed. Hard
right,
work doesn't
which is
always equal
unfortunate,
success.
which is really unfortunate because again, I've seen a lot of the people. I've seen these situations day in and day out. It is not success. But the fact of the matter is, which again, what is it? The grass is always greener, which is very unfortunate. Again, I hate saying it because I've been in shoes like that where finding a home is just
So if we hate
terrible.
saying these
The
things,
guy
why
that's
don't we
working,
just stop?
listen. The guy that's working at McDonald's who has debt, that's working several jobs. You said that he's feeding his kid. He's feeding his kid. He got a home when
But
there's
that
people that
shouldn't
are
be the
home.
minimum, man. That shouldn't be the minimum.
No,
The
it
minimum the
shouldn't. But
minimum
Justin,
should be
listen,
comfortable living. If you work hard, you should be able to live comfortably.
I think, and like I told you before, like I told you at the very beginning, a lot of that what is defined as comfortable, a lot of it. So what's comfortable is going to be very comfortable to a different person. What's comfortable to a person in Orange County is $1 million home. What's comfortable to a person maybe in South Central Los Angeles is a cool. I don't even discuss price. But you got your house, you got your mom, you got your
So
dad, you
what's
got your two
comfortable for
sisters.
that guy working at Carl or at McDonald's and Jack in the Box? What's comfortable for that guy
Unfortunately,
who that?
unfortunately,
Mhm.
unfortunately, because of whatever predicament he's been, however he grew up, what's comfortable for him, if he's been poor, if he's been used to being poor, which is an awful thing, his demands for whatever is stable is going to be different for demands for whatever someone else is considered stable. But if he's feeding his kid and he goes home and he gets to wake up every day, for him that's stable enough. He's going to continue to work, and that's unfortunate that he's going to continue to work, and
So
and it's going to be
you think making the bare minimum is success?
no, not at all. I we
So then
I didn't
how
say
is him working as
you
hard
can,
as he possibly
you can
can
say
to make
you
two
can say
minimum wage jobs to get no financial support and have to feed his kid and get 3 to 4 hours of sleep? How is that successful?
it's not. I didn't say successful. I said stable, dog.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're on the same page. That's why I'm saying the narrative is harmful. Hard work does not equal success.
And like I said before, it's more of to be successful, you have to work hard, but not everyone's going to be successful if you work hard.
I am fine with that narrative that you just said. I'm fine with that.
Because that's what I said like 10. That's what I said like 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
That's
fine.
that's
I'm fine with that.
that, that's good.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I mean?
do you know what I mean? Like, I just had a
I,
fundamental problem with what he's saying based off of of what he's has been known for, based off the Monique interview. I just felt like there's
correct.
a fundamental problem with pushing that narrative, especially with what he was, what
But yeah,
his history. I think or I know we both agree hard work should be promoted. Everyone should work
yeah,
hard because if you
yeah.
work hard, your chances of success. Maybe that's better. You work hard, your
This is a
chances of
success.
success. Your chances of success are are are, are expedited or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, you work your ass off. You may not get an A, but you're damn sure to get at least a B.
I'm fine with that narrative, man.
Solid.
I'm solid. Steve Harvey is. I think we've solved
Man,
him, man.
that's a pretty.
It only took 56 minutes.
Only took. That is that when did we start? Oh 07?
I don't know. I'm looking at the recording right now. It says 56. I
Man.
think we still have a couple things to talk about. Let's
Um.
let's get on things we agree with for the most part.
All right.
You want anime or video games? Anime or video games? What are we talking about?
And let's go anime because we can go to video. That's a pretty cool connector in the
Okay,
video game.
okay. I just want to start by saying that anyone who's still listening, thank you, and that you're probably my friend, and you probably this is I don't know why everyone thinks like I watch the most anime, but I really don't, dude. I watch enough to judge, but I mean Connor, P, our friends watch way more than me, and then they ask me like questions, and it's like, dude, I have no clue.
You honestly don't watch anime. That is
Yeah,
true.
you know what I mean, dude.
You-
I'm way more versed in video games, 100%. But like I said, I could have great conversations about anime. I've watched enough growing up and nowadays, but I don't know. I've college has changed my life, man.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that's a whole different kind of grind. A lot of our audience is probably going to be college people, but that's a different kind of hustle because things are so much more appreciated. The naps, the breaks, the times of so
And
if you
that's
for you to really to dive into an anime, it means you really enjoy that anime.
yeah, and that's
So,
something we're gonna talk about like on the other podcast. Like right now, this one's like we said, kind of the test one, but we
right.
have some real hard hitting subjects to talk about in the next time I get with Leo.
Yeah, that's solid. That's solid.
But
So
anime,
I'll I'll say for this question, just to start off, and then we'll obviously in the future podcast, we'll probably go ahead and reflect on this question again. But I'll ask you, just to base it off of, what do you think the biggest appeal on anime is? What's so enticing about it?
oof, it's hard to pinpoint the single biggest appeal. I mean, to any kind of narrative thing, the appeal is obviously the story, but anime, which I think why everyone loves it, it's just the artistic value that it brings to the table. You know what I mean? Like you grow up watching cartoons. You don't. I also feel like the fact that it's foreign in the anime specifically means Japanese cartoons. I think
Okay,
that's yeah. I think that's the big appeal. To be honest, it's cool. Yeah. If I had to give you an answer, it's the foreign animations.
okay.
What's your answer?
For me, because I have thought about this. For me, it was real simple, bro. You just like you said, we grow up watching cartoons, right? SpongeBob,
Hmm.
whatever. If you were a Mickey guy, if you're that, or whatever cartoons you watch, whatever. As you get older with anime, or as you get older, your what should I say? Your interests change. You want to get into more serious shows, maybe CSI, maybe a detective show, maybe just a regular drama,
Hmm.
something. With anime, you have that. You know what I mean? You have the elements of a show that deals with more mature subjects like death, like violence, like criminal acts, but it has the elements of cartoons like superheroes and powers and things like that. So I think it's really like the best of both worlds because
Yeah, I
cartoons,
agree.
you know what I mean? Because cartoons are limited to there's an audience.
Hmm.
Obviously, you have adult cartoons, but the kids don't watch the adult cartoons. You know what I mean? The cartoons are limited to their audience, and then the older shows, the older reality shows, to human production. You know what I mean? Your production value, the places that have the real production value are the movies. But you're not gonna get a movie that or a television show with real life actors that has the cinematics of Avengers Endgame every single week. You're not gonna get. Whereas in an anime, you have drawings that are able to do all these things in addition to have these convoluted these amazing type of
Yeah.
storylines.
Yeah.
For me,
So
it's like
yeah, I
it
got
just
you.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
So
I just
what we agree on is the animation, 100%. Something
yeah.
about the animation that draws the person. Yeah, yeah. I mean, now that you give me that information and that opinion, I'd probably agree with you. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Anime is super cool, dude. Because I mean, there's limitations to having real actors, having live action things. You know what I mean? That's why the appeal with cartoons and kids is that it's expanding their imagination, like things like SpongeBob, like a talking sponge.
Yeah,
You put that in live action, that's gonna just look weird, dude, and give the kids nightmares. So I think
yeah.
the major appeal with anime, yeah, dude, yeah, I think you hit it spot on. It's just that
That's
you could do
you know what I mean?
whatever you want. It's your it's imagination for adults.
Exactly. There you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, I like that. I
There,
like that a lot.
there it is. There it is. Summed up. I mean, I can't imagine like my love for like literally the first time I saw just moved in with my with cousins. You see a promo for a show called Naruto. For me, I didn't even know it was anime. I just thought it was a cartoon. I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, whatever. It looks kind of cool. You know what I mean? They're running fast and they're throwing knives. Come to find out, that's gonna be one of the biggest things in like that I'm interested in for years to come, 10 plus years.
So
Just because,
going off that,
yeah.
we'll jump right into it. What do you think is the best anime? Let's
Oh
go
no,
let's go like top three.
top three. Okay, I'll give you a top biased list, and then I'll give you a top three what everyone else's will be. For me, biased Naruto's number one. Okay. Um. Ooh,
Okay,
ooh.
well now here's the thing, bro. I've I personally believe, yeah, Naruto is one of the best animes, 100%. But the thing, it's like it's not popular anymore. Like that opinion is not popular anymore. I look at these tier lists. People make anime tier lists, and Naruto's like coming in like B rank. People who are really getting into anime like are starting to think, Hunter x Hunter's better. And Dragon Ball Z is way better. They say. So why do you think that Naruto is falling, not really falling off, but why do you think it's not? Why do you think we think it's a lot better than everyone else? Not even everyone else, but people. Sure, you know what I mean. People have
I,
arguments against Naruto. What do you think they are?
I think it's honestly, dude. I think it goes back to maybe this is a good thing for the music topic. I think it's a generational thing, which I don't like. I don't understand why. It's just I think it's just the times have changed, which is kind of weird though because Naruto really isn't that old. As far as the anime, it's 2006. The manga is 1999. So I really don't see where. And obviously, I'm including Shippuden with Naruto. Um, I don't understand. I mean, it's the new age. I mean, if people feel as though other things happen, other things are better, that's them. You know, that's subjective, and I can only respect their opinion. And me, I haven't really been going on watching anime, you know, like that. But I'll say maybe it's. I'll one thing I will say is the little like on my feed every now and then of an anime thing. Anime nowadays looks really good. Animation looks amazing. You know what I mean? And Naruto and Dragon Ball back in the day and shows like Yu Yu Hakusho and Sailor Moon and things like that, they didn't have the quick time animations for the fight scenes to be like all all crazy and HD like that, and anime has become so much more glorified in this time. So I feel like people have a I don't know it's not so much I want to say like maybe appreciated to them like in because if you look at a lot of animes watching them like they drink water. You know what I mean? You finish a series, next one. You finish another series, next one. For me, being as biased as it was, Naruto for me was every Saturday at 9 to 9:30 and 9:30 to 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? So there was a real build for me with Naruto. And then I got into Shippuden sophomore year of high school, and I had to wait for the websites to catch up on the episodes. You know what I mean? So there was a time to develop. Where I feel like a lot of the times now is you finish one, you got a website that has the series complete, watch it, next one comes out. Watch it, next one comes out, and you just rate it by that. So, everyone has their own opinions, you can only respect it. I feel like maybe Naruto is just looked at as maybe like an older guy. I don't know, maybe it just hasn't animation's great, but maybe it just doesn't compete with the new. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you because I don't really watch the new anime per se.
So non-subjective, what do you think is top animes?
Okay, it's non-subjective. Wait, let me give my list first.
Okay.
My list was Naruto, right? That's Naruto and Shippuden. Man, let me go ahead and I'll go. I'll go Full Metal Alchemist for number two, and then I'm gonna go with phew, I'm gonna go ahead with Hunter x Hunter for three.
Okay.
With what I think, what I non-subjective, this is hard because and even doing my own personal list was because there are lots of animes on my list that I to get into that I didn't get into. This is hard. I feel like the number one anime. I feel like the top three anime of of popularity now. Naruto's somewhere on that list. I'm gonna go ahead and be safe and say it's three. I'll say Dragon Ball is one. Are we talking all time or like as of right
All time, all time.
now? Oh, all time? Oh, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and Naruto. And that second place is either Sailor or Cowboy.
You said Cowboy
100%.
Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop or Sailor Moon is for second place. Yep.
Have you watched both of those?
I have not watched a single episode of Sailor Moon, and I watched a little bit of Cowboy Bebop when I was a kid, but forgot everything about it. But when I hear people talk about anime that have no idea of the culture, two anime names pop up instantaneously. Everybody knows who Kobe Bryant is. Everybody knows who what Dragon Ball is, and a lot of the old heads, new age and old age, know about Sailor Moon. Everyone knows about that girl with the blue girl with the hair, and she does all that stuff.
So
And
what
then
do
a
you,
lot of
so let's get into non-subjective then.
non-sub.
Overall, like yeah, non-subjective, and give you a reason why. Let's do one. Top anime.
Oh, Dragon Ball.
Why?
Just, everyone knows it. It's still going on. For one thing, Dragon Ball's damn near like a. I don't know. The Dragon Ball just made it to the parade last. That's a big deal for any kind of figure that makes it to the Macy's parade on New Year's. Like we're talking, I don't know. There's something. I feel like the voice actor's been the same voice actor for damn near 20 years for Goku. I feel like there's just so much development. The show shows no sign of stopping either for as long as it's been. How old is Dragon Ball? Talking about Kid Goku as a kid when he still had the tail. That show has to be, and the fact that it's showing no, like Naruto was 90. You know what I mean? And ended. One Piece has been around since Naruto, and it's coming to One Piece is another show I wanted to get into, but I just don't have the time. But
Hmm.
Dragon Ball, just because of, it's like a brand. Everybody knows about it.
Can't you say the same about Naruto though?
No,
You can't say Naruto's
Close.
a brand.
Oh no, oh, yeah, it's a brand. Naruto's a brand, but I think if you ask people, if you ask random people, like really random people, who know who Naruto is and who Goku is, a lot of people are going, okay, I'll take that back. If people know what Dragon Ball is and Naruto is, I feel like a lot more people are gonna say, not a lot more. I feel like more people are gonna say they know what Dragon Ball is than people are gonna say that they know what Naruto.
I could get with that.
Dragon Ball,
Personally,
1989. 1989.
1989. Damn.
2000, okay, 1999. That thing was 10 years old. 2009, 20 years old. We're pushing 30 years on. And think about it. It's literally showing no signs of stopping.
Yeah,
No
that
signs at
is
all.
true. Dragon Ball Z is currently still going.
Oh yeah, it's not even. I don't even think it's called. It's super.
Mm. Personally, I and I like I said, man. You know me. My argument's not gonna be too valid, but I would have to say Naruto, dude. I just feel like it's easier to get into first of all than Dragon Ball, because the reason I don't know I when you look at the visuals of Dragon Ball and you look at the visuals of Naruto, I kind of find as a kid I found Dragon Ball intimidating. I don't know what about it, but I just did. What was appealing to me at the time was Naruto, and you would look at it and it'd be I don't know, I don't know. That's kind of my opinion. I feel like Naruto's
Did
better.
you watch as a kid?
Say again.
Did you watch Naruto as a kid?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Oh,
I did.
okay. So you know that whole yeah, you got. I'm waiting for him on Saturday type deal. Yeah, no, I don't know, man.
So maybe my non-subjective is a little bit subjective, but
I
okay.
just yeah, I again yeah, I'm 100% Naruto. That's something I take to the grave with me, and I'm English is finally catching up, man. So I'm
No,
gonna.
and that is what we have to talk about that I forgot. You watch dubbed. You're weird.
I'm not.
Explain your
I
reasoning of
think
why you're not a weirdo for watching dubbed.
okay. For one thing, with Naruto for say, Naruto's the first anime, right?
Okay.
So anime, one of the bigger things, with anime was trying to find the television block or the television channel in America that was going to allow you to watch it. Cartoon Network was in it in the early 2000s and the 90s, but in the 2000s especially was the probably the most dominant animated channel outlet there was, right? So they had a television block called Toonami. As a kid, I'm watching TV, can read outside and things like that. So I'm gonna watch Toonami. And when anime comes over, it's English. It's in English. So when I watch Naruto in English, that's what I hear for the next 2.5 years. I'm listening to Naruto in English. That's my guy.
So
That's
you're
Naruto.
just saying you couldn't change.
I started listening top to go with Naruto in English. I'm gonna watch Boruto in English because that's I'm not gonna change just because I want to catch up with whatever. No. And then the other thing with again, it is Japanese culture 100%. You put the subs in, that is what it. But I feel like I respect both. I respect both. My argument to other people is just like, bro, you speak English. There's an alternative for you to speak. There's
But
an alternative.
don't you think the people who made it intended for that media to be consumed the way they created it?
Okay, well, of every single movie has a Spanish sub. It's not. It's less about intention. It's more about distribution. I don't think it's. I feel like with any kind of media, you want your audience big as possible. I don't
Yeah.
think they're trying to,
I mean,
you know.
personally, I don't have a problem with people who listen to dubbed, but I think you have to acknowledge that yeah, like you said, you did it, you acknowledge it. It's the culture, and also it's the kind of thing. It's like you gotta to fully appreciate it. You have to consume it in the way it was supposed to be consumed.
Maybe, dude. I don't know. Like, bro. Like, I don't think. Like, you think people in France would prefer to hear Captain America in English but with French subtitles?
Yeah,
You think-
I, I mean, I'm on your side on that case. I mean, it's a movie, but
Television show.
it's anime. You know what I mean? It's anime.
SpongeBob.
It's no. I would think. Yeah. No. I mean, it's anime is what I'm saying is that it's known for specifically being Japanese. And
I,
when you know what I mean, when you look at those cartoons, you know that hey, that's that was made in Japan. I could tell
for
it has a distinct look, and it's you know what I mean. What do you
yeah,
think of that?
I can definitely see the value. My whole thing was just like I feel like a lot of people
Accessibility.
not even accessibility. As easily as you can access English, you can access Japanese. I think so. I mean, if you be realistically nowadays, people watch. It's not really TV because a lot of people are adults, and you're not gonna to watch Toonami. Toonami starts from 11 o'clock until 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's be real, no one's really doing that. You know what I mean? If you're watching anime nowadays, it's through your laptop. You know what I mean? So, as I just kind of feel like a lot of people bash on dubbed anime after watching the sub anime. When if you were to just sit down and watch the dubbed anime without hearing the sub, I don't think you'd have a problem with it until you watch the sub and you're like, oh, I don't know. And then people are like, oh, conviction and things like that. I guarantee you, I don't think people would be saying that if they listen to the dub just like that.
Yeah, but
Because and
you have to admit, in some animes and the ones that don't have
yes,
have
yes,
as big of a
100%.
budget, the
I
voice
can
actor is awful. And it could be the same thing, bro. You know, anime is not popular in France. If you were to translate it and they had French voice actors, it's not it's getting it. My point is it's that it's furthering itself from the art. You know what I mean? It's going through too much
I
to
can agree.
than to just. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Um, it's going through too many filters from the art itself. If you listen to it in Japanese, that's it. That's how the creators created it. But if you have these add-ons, it just furthers itself, and the quality may diminish. It may not, but at the end of the day, my argument is that it just takes away from the intended meaning.
Most I'll say is slightly though, because you also got to think too is like even with ooh that's this is a good lead in for our next topic. But I recently watched a thing, um, Justin McCartney, right?
Hmm.
Voices Roxas in Kingdom Hearts, right? Kingdom Hearts, Japanese video game, correct?
Yes.
So when they're doing the recording, it's the same way for Japanese as they Japanese Japanese producers of a show. They'll come here to America, right? And they'll tell the voice actors to because the way that it works, right, with voice acting is they have the scene playing. And when they have the lips going, they have the Japanese translation or they have the Japanese obviously because Japanese was made first, they have the Japanese voice playing as it would play. And then the English people have their lines or they're translated. So the way that they have to do it is they have to kind of make it as closely related to the Japanese version as a lot of people say one of the biggest problems that they have with English dub is that they don't say it exactly how Japanese says it. Because it wouldn't make because it doesn't it's better to kind of change the culture. Like if someone said, I don't know, if a Japanese was to say, I don't know, I don't know that bastard, why would we kill him? As opposed to like in English, you would say, you know, go to hell to that person or something like that. It's because
Mhm.
it changes. There's words you have to adhere to. The mouth is open for a while because of how the Japanese
Yeah, I could
that
see that. I could see that. And
you know what I'm
dude,
saying?
yeah, yeah. And I just figured out an argument for myself. All you had to say was that, dude, reading a translation is just as a filter on the art.
Yeah.
I, I'm fine with that.
You know what I mean? I feel like yeah, you're right. I mean
A
you
filter,
can
yeah, because I mean, unless you're a Japanese person consuming the Japanese art, you can't. the- it's hard to consume the original piece.
yeah. I just yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Hmm.
That's another anime. I can go ahead and agree that sub there are definitely subs that I can say that, and I'm a dub guy. Any anime I'm gonna watch, I'm looking for the dub, 100%. But I can go ahead and hear both, and I'm like, okay, you know. But for me, I'm a dub till I die, 100%.
So then, the last and final subject: video
Talk about
games.
VGs, video games.
Have you, dude? First off, have you watched Video Game High School?
Dude, no.
It's a great series. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Great series. Cause I'd followed creator of it, Freddie Wong. You know Freddie Wong?
Rocket jump, yeah.
Yeah, Rocket Jump. I followed him from the beginning, so to see him like make his YouTube channel popular, start Rocket Jump and make movies and TV series, it was surreal. But you gotta check that out, man. There's a lot of Easter eggs to appreciate in there.
I know
But
we watched an episode freshman year, but then it
oh
just
yeah, I'm not sure if you were feeling that.
ah, it was just I feel like you just caught me at a bad time. I was,
Yeah, 100%. So
but so
let's
what
talk
was it?
about non-subjective. Okay,
Top video games?
top video games. Okay, of our generation, because I don't want to. Obviously, Super Mario Bros. And all those games are are obvious top picks. But I want to talk about from, let's say,
99.
so what is that? PlayStation,
That's PlayStation. Just one
PlayStation.
is a is a is a PlayStation.
So PlayStation 1 to now. Subjectively, Kingdom Hearts. I think Kingdom Hearts is a great game, a great
Okay.
series. Uh, what else? Okay, but here's the thing, dude. I could see why people don't like Kingdom Hearts. I could 100% see it, especially if you came
Easily.
in it late.
Yeah.
There's a certain charm to Kingdom Hearts that you had to, you know what I mean, dude? Like I understand it. If people don't if you don't say Kingdom Hearts is anywhere near your top 15 games, I understand because you had to be charmed by it.
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts
dude.
is a game you had to be charmed by at a young age, and then you're just captivated ever since. There's something about Kingdom Hearts, the transition between from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2, whether it be their advertising or whatever, or just the visuals. If you were in that era and you saw anything Kingdom Hearts related, I guarantee that game is in your top 20. But
100%.
if you're completely ignorant and you saw nothing of it, I understand. Hey, I'm here for you, buddy. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything else to say on Kingdom Hearts, bro, before we talk about non-subjective?
Nah, bro. Bro, no, I got you, bro. Like
Because
I'll bring Kingdom Hearts up when I talk about this, but no,
okay,
I
yeah,
with
but
you.
yeah, the only reason I say that is because Kingdom Hearts has its flaws, dude. The storyline,
Confusing.
non-subjectively, is awful. Subjectively, it's great. It's a little
Yeah,
confusing, but to an outside viewer, storyline is terrible, terrible. Like like
man.
like people die over this stuff, man. I watched the I watched the analysis of the storyline that was 4 hours long to try and understand Kingdom Hearts before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So I mean, like I said, man, I get it. So let's go non-subjective so the viewers actually know what games we're talking about, man.
Were you doing top three, or are you doing just your top?
Top three,
So
top
then
three.
you didn't even. What's your bottom two for subject?
Ooh, I mean, cause the thing about my bottom two, well, okay, well, the Kingdom Hearts is not number one subjectively or non-subjectively, but the other two games go into non-subjective, so that's why I didn't even bring them up.
Okay, 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 I got you.
Kingdom Hearts is the only game in my list of
That's not
subjective that I don't believe should be actually part of the list.
okay. Okay, that
So
makes sense.
do you is that the same for you? What games on your top 5 bias list shouldn't be there in the unbiased list?
I'm just trying to think because for me, video games isn't. There's not too. I don't know. There's not too much of like video. Okay, let me just get. I'm gonna go ahead and get my. I can't even. I think I can give my answer when I get my top.
Yeah.
So and then just to clarify, when you say Kingdom Hearts, are you talking series?
I'm saying 2. I'll say 2. I'll stick
Okay,
to 2.
fine. Oh, okay, solid. Because okay, because low key on my top five would be two of them Johns.
1 and 2?
Two and three,
Okay,
bro.
2 and ooh.
So two and three is somewhere in there for me. Cause I'm not I never really got to play shooting. I know Call of Duty somewhere up there for people.
Yeah.
For my list, it's oh damn. See, because it'd be easier if I could say the Kingdom Hearts series, and then there's a
Mhm.
Smash Bros. Series, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and say Kingdom Hearts 2, 3. Number one is Breath of the Wild.
Do you think
Um,
that's non-subjective as well? Cuz
I'll go three non-subjective.
yeah. I mean, I would agree that it's up there.
Yeah, I'll go five. If you're doing a top five, I don't think it cracks three. I'll go top five because that's just like how we said with Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it was still Game of the Year. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that mix. I'm gonna say for my list, Breath of the Wild number one, Kingdom Hearts 3 number two. I'll go Kingdom Hearts. No, I'll go. I don't even have Smash Ultimate, but I'll go Smash Brawl number three. Um, I'll go Kingdom Hearts 2 number four, and number five. Hmm, number five. Oh, probably probably like the Ninja Storm series.
Do you think that's non-subjective?
That's subjective.
Subjective.
Non-subjective?
Okay, so let's get into non-subjective.
Yeah.
My number one all-time video game is Halo 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you think about that?
I don't know damn thing about no shooting games, but I know for a fact that as a child in the fifth grade, is that fair? That what's Halo 3? 2009,
2000,
2010.
yeah, yeah, 9.
Yeah,
8,
as a
well,
kid.
no, 7, 2007. Halo 3 is 2007.
Okay, well, as a kid in elementary school, all the kid for probably the last 4 years of elementary school for me, everyone kept talking about only
Yes,
games
bro.
was Call of Duty, Halo, and Grand Theft Auto. Those are the games everybody talked about that they always played.
Yeah. And sadly Halo fell off now, but dude, the environment of Halo 3, it was really the peak of online gaming, and I know, and I'm sad that you didn't get to experience that firsthand. But dude, let me just describe it to you because it was amazing. You'd get home from school, you'd hop online, and literally 6 of your friends would be online. 6 of your friends would be online. Half of them be playing Call of Duty, half of them playing Halo. You invite them to a party, get all 7 of you guys in the party, and you're like, "Hey man, let's play some Halo 3." And there was so much to do, dude. The campaign was amazing. You could co-op the campaign. You could
Right,
you could create your own maps. You could play on those maps. There's competitive. I mean, what else did you need, dude? It's a full pack. It's a full packaged game that you don't get anymore. There was no DLC. Anything you wanted, you could unlock through gameplay.
right.
And I just that's the homage to gaming as it used to be, because if we can make a whole podcast about the current state of gaming, but it's I don't like the way it's looking. There's
No,
microtransactions are killing games, and I mean I get it, make your money, dude, but it's like people come out with games that are half done, and it's just awful. I don't get why you do that. I don't get it, but it's done.
when you
What's your
say half, I mean,
like half done? Destiny came out, and the DLC that they paid for, the DLC that they made people pay for, was already in the game files. It's like stuff. Yeah, they found it in the game files, and they're like, "What's this?" Next week they come out with the DLC, and it's the exact same maps it found in the game file, and then there's stuff. It's just like they come out with a game that's half empty in order to fill it, and it doesn't make sense. Um,
I
like
didn't know that.
yeah, like for Call of Duty, they create the maps, and it's like how do you, there's no reason why downloadable content should come out within 3 months of the first release. Like why am I getting cosmetic skins a week after the game came out? Like that means you already had them created. You already planned this DLC. When DLC for Halos came out, that it came out like 6 months because they created this beautiful game that they wanted to release. They released it, and then they're like, now how can we improve it? So they made this map. I don't even remember what it's called, sandstorm or something, but they made it, and that came out months and months, if not a year after. And then I think you paid for it, but it's like at that point, if I playing this wonderful game for $60 this whole time, why wouldn't I pay $10 to get another map? You know, but at least that map was created after the game. It was an afterthought, and that's
Well,
something you don't see often.
yeah, well, maybe you know you never know. Maybe it's out of fear that the attention will be gone because gaming is so much more competitive. Maybe it's just like, okay, let's see how our fish does in the water right now because there's a
Okay,
whole bunch.
but don't you? But if you think that the things you're creating right now will improve your game later, why not put them in there now? Why not put
Because
those DLC maps in now? If you
you
have
gotta have
already
a
have them created, why are you gonna hold them from people and release them for money?
I feel like you gotta have a fail safe. I feel like just like I said, if you put the game out and you know there's this big game and this big game's out. Let's see how my game does. If my game is out there struggling, bam, DLC. If I have that big enough audience, I know that we did pretty good in sales the first couple weeks, but now they're out there struggling because of the release of this game or because this game's still relevant. Now I have my fail safe. Bam, there goes another one. Let's start working
So
on
then what's the harm in releasing them with the game?
maybe they don't. That's I feel like it all comes down to budget and things like that. As to
Okay, well,
you
no,
gotta
that's budget's not the problem because they have it. The Okay, Leo, use Destiny. Destiny 1 came out, in the game files was a map that they planned to release for money. Why not release
okay.
that map?
I I feel like that just goes back to my thing, man. I feel like you just gotta see what this is doing. If your game is dominating it, and then that goes completely up to you whether you want to release it then or you want to release it as a season 2 type deal. And maybe it's more of an attention thing because maybe you know that nowadays it's not just about the original release; it's about what comes next. Now it's about, for example, with Smash Four, right? With Smash Four, there were several DLC characters. I'm trying to remember how many DLC characters there were. One of the bigger things was that people from the last installments were not in Smash Four, right? So this kid from Earth, you know Earthbound, right?
What is kid from where?
You know about Earthbound, right?
Earthbound, yeah. Yeah.
So in Smash. So okay, the one of the bigger characters, his name is
Are you
Ness.
talking about,
Okay,
yeah, Ness?
yeah. So Ness has been there since Smash 64. He's been there since Smash Bros. Melee. He's been there since Smash Bros. Brawl. He was in there in Smash 64, right? In Smash Brothers Brawl, which came out for the Wii in 2008, they had another character from Earthbound. His name was Lucas.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone loved him and everything. In Smash 4, because in Smash 4 you didn't have to. The only characters you had to unlock technically were the characters you had to buy through DLC. So all the characters you had were all there for you. You know what I mean? Where's Lucas at? What the hell? Where's Lucas at? DLC, right? So and then more DLC came. And with the last couple things, so one of the bigger things was people do listen. People do listen for requests and things like that. The last DLC for Smash 4 was Bayonetta. And when they did the Nintendo Direct about it, they said that Bayonetta, of 5 characters, I think it was either character, Bayonetta was the most requested character that they wanted. So I feel like it also comes down to the adherence of the audience. They also
Yeah,
asked
okay,
for.
100%. Yeah, I'm with you. But let's go back to your Lucas example. The game came out and the people wanted Lucas, right?
I would say, yeah, yeah.
So they created Lucas. But my issue is when the people want something and they already have it. They already Why didn't you release it if we were asking for Lucas, why didn't you just release it on launch day?
I don't know, man.
You know what I
That's
mean?
a,
I think it's a slimy thing to do. I think it's a slimy thing to create an unfinished game. And I'm not even talking about DLC. You may have a great argument against DLC. Um, but I mean, there's blatant problems with games that come out on launch day that it's like, how did you? For example, Anthem. You remember, dude? I told you Anthem's gonna be garbage. I said you're like you sent me the trailer, bro. You seen it? Didn't you? I'm like, dude, that it's gonna be garbage.
that
Yeah,
game looks sick.
yeah. I mean, it looks beautiful, but it plays like a piece of cardboard. And and I based my decision off of they fired the directors of the production. They went through a whole bunch of staff changes. They had to fire like 90% of the staff, like stuff like that. So I mean, I knew it was gonna fail, but also it came from EA and BioWare, and those people are known for like destroying games, creating like games that are just not good at launch, at least. Like the Division and Anthem. You could take Anthem as well. It's like you get the game and it's broken. It's like, how did you not test these things? It's not fun and there's not enough to do, yet they somehow can spit out DLC and stuff to make that game better um, within the first week. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Okay. I can adhere to that. So yeah, that's a pretty good. That game, for example, is a pretty good example of like a putting out a broken game or a not completely
Yeah,
finished game.
just to wrap my point up is that was never a thing back in the day. You got
Yeah.
a game, you looked at the disc, and you're like, this is gonna be the whole game. This is everything.
Yeah, bro. I
But
missed that.
yeah, you know what I mean. And now you buy a game, and you're like, oh, I'm so excited for. I bought Mortal Kombat, bro. I'm so excited for the characters that are gonna come out. Like what, dude? You know what I mean? We shouldn't expect DLC is all I'm saying. We should expect everything. We should expect the developers to give it their all.
That's
And
pretty. That was pretty good to hear. We
yeah,
shouldn't expect DLC.
yeah, yeah. I
The
mean that's
game.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, I mess with that.
So
No,
go ahead.
yeah, that's good. No, I mess with that. I like that.
So now my second game of all time, Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yeah, that.
Minecraft. I okay. Anyone okay. People think Minecraft is a kids game. Maybe looks like a kids game. I agree. But once you get into it and you deep dive into that game, you will lose yourself in that game. Anyone who's listening that's a Minecraft hater, go download it. Play one world for an hour, and I guarantee you'll lose yourself. It's a great game. It's a testament to maybe what Steve Harvey was saying, hard work. It's created by one dude. Minecraft was created by one dude, and now it's a billion dollar uh, industry kind of whatever game,
I
billion-dollar game.
I didn't. I never played the game, but that's another one of those things where as a kid, and then more now to my middle school.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like I feel like Minecraft is undeniably up there because the the only competitor in terms of YouTube revenue would be Fortnite, and that's only because Fortnite came in prime time YouTube time, in prime time YouTube era. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Minecraft is still rocking the streets in YouTube. And in fact, I think last time I checked, it's still ahead of Fortnite. Like Minecraft, it's undeniable. the impact that Minecraft had.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, and take it from someone on the outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I've clicked on Minecraft. I think I've played Minecraft um a total of shoot. I think I've played Minecraft for a total of 30 minutes
Mhm.
on a computer. Or no, I played on your place for maybe
Yeah,
like
you
20
did.
minutes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I don't like I that's from someone on the outside. And I can and just from understanding and listening, talking about how much fun they had with that thing, I can only just sit down and be like, all right, you do your thing. I can only listen to see how popular that thing is, and and what it's created has speaks for itself. So I'm just an outsider with that one, but yeah, I can respect that.
So, give me some of your games.
What do I think? Oh,
No,
are we
dude,
talking?
top non-subjective games.
Okay, so um, one of the if it's Call of Duty, it's probably Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops.
I
Again,
think most
I
people would
didn't
agree
play.
with you on that. And
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 yeah,
and dude, okay. No, I don't want to repeat the same things, but the games that we're saying are fully packaged games.
yeah,
No games that come out today besides like the ones from developers who are dedicated to that type of stuff will ever be like that. You know what I mean? Minecraft, it's a whole game. You buy the whole game. DLCs
hmm
after the fact. Halo 3, you buy the whole game. These Call of Duties that you're mentioning, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, it's the whole game. That's all I had
yeah.
to say. Go ahead.
No, that's probably what adheres to their success.
Yeah, like
Uh,
on the non-subjective list, I feel like damn near all of them are gonna be games that are fully packaged, and you could, because that's at the end of the day, man. That's what helps create a good game.
bro, it's just so annoying. Like, because like we got the Xbox One, I think was, this is when I knew like the internet was taking over. Bro, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what happened to the day? Even like my Wii U that I got, it's like sophomore. You can't play it the night you plug it in. You have to wait
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
I'm sitting there, like, what happened to the days where I
Mhm.
plug my stuff into the TV, I put the game in, and it takes 30 seconds to load.
Yeah. I mean, on
Dude,
on with that though, you have to think about the advantages of the systems you're using though. You know what I mean? Like the graphical advantages. Like, I mean,
yeah, bro, but
I
again,
I
with
agree. I agree. There has to be a way, but at the same time, it's taking a while to boot up because there's so much more information going in it. Yeah.
fair, that's fair. That is fair. But okay, one of the Call of Duties, I said Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, second, probably one of the Halos. I guess it's Halo. That's the only one I remember. Halo Reach was highly expected. I don't know how that game did. But I know Halo 3 was a big Minecraft, and I'm pretty much naming the games because again, and if I did play video games, it was like not shooters.
Mhm.
Um, or no, I'm gonna switch Halo out with Grand Theft Auto. I'm sorry, Grand Theft.
Which one?
I don't.
I
When
would
I was
agree
a
with like San Andreas. I'd even agree with GTA 5, dude. That game has been incredible. It's still going crazy.
okay, I'll say five then because I
Yeah, I
know
would agree
four.
with I would agree with
When
5, and I don't know what number San Andreas was, but that's a
when did
childhood
five
game.
freshman
Five
year?
five yeah, 2012.
Oh, that's seventh grade.
Yeah, because it came out right before the console switch, and people still play it to this day. They just came out with DLC like last month.
So that's how it should be, huh, Justin?
That's how it should be.
Years later, still coming. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
insane.
a while after, a while after. Yeah. No, but yeah, no, I'd say GTA is not actually. Yeah, I'd say that's number two. Whatever Halo game was popular, three, and then I'd say Minecraft was four, and then five. I'm gonna say Smash Bros.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how that's
I'm gonna go ahead
I
and say
got how
Smash.
that's top five.
let me go ahead and like gather my brain really quick because if I'm trying to think of an industry of a video game that okay, this is you know what I mean?
Hmm.
No, I'm trying to think of like where the hype was because again, this is a time these video game times is what I've so I'm trying to think of everything that everyone talked about that everyone tried to get me. Oh, there might have been one I might have missed. Um, everyone tried that people try to get me in. Oh, what the heck? What am I talking about? Not Smash. I love Smash, but dude, I'm not gonna ignore Fortnite. That thing took the world by
Yeah,
storm.
yeah. The only thing I would have to say about Fortnite is that it needs to age, because it no doubt has a great impact on anything. You can't go on YouTube without seeing a Fortnite video, but
Man,
it's not old yet. You know what I mean? And with if you put a game at the top of the top of its generation, let's make sure it makes it out of this generation first. You know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah,
So
but
then,
but I agree. But I agree, dude. That game every day is skyrocketing one rank on the top game of all time, 100%. But
give it
I would,
time.
yeah, I would let it age.
Let it marinate. Okay. So then I'm gonna keep Smash Bros on that list because it has stood the test of time. You
Hmm.
know, Melee, Smash Bros. Melee. Listen to this. Smash Bros. Melee came out in 2001, and
Yeah,
there's an Evo tournament for the game in 2017. So yeah, that game has definitely stood the test. So I'll definitely put Smash Bros. Back on. Um, but yeah, I guess give Fortnite a little bit of time, and then what happens after that.
yeah. I mean, I guess that's our list, man.
Yeah, that's solid, man.
Anything else to say, man, as we wrap this up, the first podcast?
Nah, bro, this was a lot more fun. You know, it was a lot more. Um, we got our things out the way, and it was good. We got a good rundown. You
Yeah,
know,
and
of
like, dude, like I said in the first couple minutes, like these are the kind of conversations that we have on a
yeah,
daily, and it's like, why not just record it, dude? Let's see what happens. And then for anyone who's watching, dude, thank you. Hope the audio didn't distract you too much or whatever. Like, we're gonna work to get that fixed.
yeah,
But
yeah. We this is the stuff we'll like the phone gets really warm. We'll straight up just
100%.
we'll talk about these and we'll just like it'll lead into something else. This is a me typically in my room and Justin will set the phone down or he'll be like, hey, my phone's gonna die. I'm gonna switch to my laptop. And we just talk.
Yeah.
And we just talk and we just elaborate about these things. So yeah, it's definitely good to go ahead,
And
you know, have
that's a testament for podcasts too, dude. Like
yeah.
that's it's cool. It's cool, and I love the podcasts that have guests too. You just talk about something
Yeah.
different like every day, and
And it was just good to
talking
have
talking is key, dude, to good
yeah,
relationships.
100%. And it was good to have other ears.
Exactly.
You have other ears, man. But yeah, no, they was solid.
Solid.
Take that first
Solid,
step.
solid. So I mean, I guess to wrap this up, kind of thank you everyone who's still listening. If you have any feedback, let me know on the platform of which you're listening to, or just text me. I'm sure most of the people, the only people watching this, are the people who know me personally. So let me know what you guys want to hear. If you guys are interested in getting on the podcast, or if you guys have anyone else I want to you want me to talk to, stuff like that. I mean,
Yes, sir.
I guess it's wrapped up.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
we
you
did
so
it.
much, Leo. You'll definitely be on another one. If we choose to continue, let's go over this audio, man, and
Okay.
we'll see. So thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you, Leo, for talking with me, man.
My pleasure. My pleasure.